Begin our musical Friday with a classical flavor. There's a concert happening this weekend featuring renowned Austrian violinist Johannes Fleishmann. Fleishmann will perform with the Manila Symphony Orchestra tomorrow, June 17th at the Carlos P. Romulo Auditorium in RCBC Plaza, Makati. It's the first in the MSO concert series In Pursuit of Excellence. Johannes is joining us right now in the studio to tell us more. Good morning, Johannes. Great to have you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's such a pleasure to have you, Johannes. You've hit the ground running, so to speak. I mean, you've only been here a few days, but you already held a master class with the Manila Symphony Junior Orchestra, I believe. Tell us about that.
It was a great pleasure.
Yeah.
Actually, we did 3 string quartets.
Okay.
With Joseph Haydn, with Verdi, and with what we did Dvorak as well, the American quartet. And it was a big pleasure actually to work together with the young students of this festival and this great Manila Symphony Junior Orchestra.
Okay. Well, I mean, the title of tomorrow's concert is going to be Mendelssohn, Brahms, or Dvorak and Mendelssohn and Brahms. What can we expect, obviously, aside from works from these great composers?
Well, what can be expected? It will be the very first time performance of the Dvorak Violin Concert in the Philippines. So this is a premiere. This is a lot of passion, a lot of great music. Marlon Jen is the conductor tomorrow. Of the Manila Symphony Orchestra. So we had already yesterday the first rehearsal with the orchestra. So they rehearsed already the day before, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, looking forward to this. Let's take a step back here and talk about your journey as a violinist growing up. As early as 5, probably even before then. When did you first pick up a violin and realize, hey, this is something that I want to devote my life to. This is something that I want to build a career on. When did that happen?
Well, I was born in a music family. My parents are musicians. My mother is a singer. My father is a double bass player.
Okay.
And my father actually wanted me to play cello.
Okay.
And brought me to a cello teacher. But I told him no, I want to play the violin when I was 4.
Smaller, easier to carry instrument. Yeah.
True, absolutely.
Okay. But what led you to that decision? What was it about the violin that sort of spoke to you?
It's the voice of the violin, actually. The sound of it. It's the not only the highest, but the sound can be produced. It's very close to human voice if you do it right, and it speaks to me. It was always like I felt very familiar to it.
It's fantastic. I mean, you speak about it with so much passion and this great love and connection you have for it. Johannes, you're not what I would, you're not the stereotype of a classical musician. You're not stiff, formal, and stead. You have a great passion and great energy about you, and it seems like you really have continued to have this great love and passion for violin music, violin as an instrument, and classical music as a whole. Where does that come from?
Well, for me, music is music. It doesn't matter if it's classical music, if it's pop, if it's more commercial, less commercial. Music touches you always right in the heart.
Yeah.
And so classical music is a very well thought through composition. So the great thing about classical music is that it gets more often you hear it.
Yeah.
Even one piece.
Yeah.
You get the excess after hearing a piece like 5 times, 6 times. You always like this
more and more minute details about it. Is there any particular, area of you? I mean, you profess a love for all music. Is there a particular preference? Does your taste? Do you go through phases where you're more into contemporary feel, where you go for a much more formal, classical feel, so to speak? What's your current flavor and mood?
Well, absolutely. So my current mood is Dvorak for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I also have like an electronic project called Symphoniax.
Yeah.
Where we like mixing classical music with DJ music.
See, that's not at all what I would expect from a classical musician.
No, but this is what I talked about. Like music is music, and to get the passion in the people and in your audience. It can happen with Mozart. It can happen with Schubert, with Viennese music, with Strauss, but also with like Martin Garrix, I guess.
Yeah, right. Very cool. Listen, and you're also using music to reach out and as a tool for your social commitments. You have also put a great part of what you do into helping underprivileged youths who have potential, whether they want to pursue a career in music or just use it as a tool to better themselves. Tell us about that part of what you do.
Well, I always believe that music can actually change lives. And there are several projects around this world which prove that. For example, there's one in Kenya named Ghetto Classics.
Yeah.
And this is like one of the projects, such as Venezuelan projects, really prove that music can change the life of people. And if I can help with that, if I can find the true passion for people and love what they're doing actually, not even do it professionally, but I think music can stay a part for your life, for your whole life. If it's singing under the shower, or joining it in a concert, or playing it yourself. You learn so much about yourself if you do music, and you learn so much about your neighbor if you do with somebody music together.
Sure, and like I said, you don't necessarily have to be focused on pursuing a musical career.
Yes.
For music to really change your life. You are the ambassador for the new Austrian Sound of Music program. What is that about?
The new Austrian Sound of Music is a program by the Austrian Foreign Ministry actually. It's like of the leading cultural programs actually existing because they bring young musicians they introduce it to different countries, they bring it around the world. You have to apply for that and they pick you, and there's like 5 groups for each category, and they support them always for 2 years.
Okay.
And these 2 years they're going to be presented by the different embassies, and this is a great project actually. Many other countries also looking at the Austrian Foreign Ministry for that, because Austria also pursued culture in a very great way, actually.
Okay, fantastic. Let's quickly talk about these new albums that you've brought with you over here. Exodus is probably one that we should focus on. The men that who helped shape Hollywood. What's the story behind that? It's quite an interesting story, isn't it?
So Exodus, this was my first album actually when it came out 2021. This is about 2 Jewish Austrian composers who had to go to Los Angeles actually, and both of them were influential on Hollywood film music actually. So one of them, Eric Goldfram Korngold, won 2 Oscars and he inspired John Williams and inspired many other composers to compose in his style. And he was an opera composer, but he was also like a wunderkind, you would say.
Yeah, probably the last musical genius.
Absolutely, this was something very special, because his father was like one of the biggest critics, music critics, and all the big composers when he was a child came to his home, and everybody said like, well, and the other one is Eric Zeisel. Yeah. Not so many people know about him. And this sonata, the Brandeis Sonata, which we recorded there, it's a really discovery.
Okay, fantastic stuff. Quickly about Solitaire.
Solitaire is my new album, which comes out in September 15th, and it will be exclusively possible to buy a few copies tomorrow at the concert, actually.
Oh, look at that. We got a sneak peek. Okay, speaking of the concert, let's wrap this up by inviting everybody not to miss this opportunity. Go ahead, hit us with the details for tomorrow.
So please come tomorrow at 7 p.m. to the RCBC. Marlon Chan is conducting the Manila Symphony Orchestra. It will be awesome. Great program, Brahms, Mendelssohn, and Dvorak Violin Concerto for the first time.
Fantastic stuff. All you classical music fans, don't miss this opportunity to catch Johannes tomorrow night. Thank you so much for joining us this morning here on New Day.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.